Hello YouTube, my name is Brandon Red, and it is that spooky time of year where this channel, Ramen Noodle Budgets, begins to put out some random Halloween videos that I come up with in the dead of night. So we got my Michael Myers pumpkin right there, and I had an idea for a brand new series where I wanted to find the worst Michael Myers masks I could find and just rehaul them the best to my abilities. You guys seem to really love the one from last year where that horrible mask came out. Well, I think I found worse masks. So I just got the package in. I never filmed this late. It's like 10 o'clock. I just got home from work. And but I really want to take this thing out of the package and show it to you guys. I actually ordered 2 masks. I got these for $8. Funny enough, I had one of these I had both of these masks actually as a kid. So we're gonna take her out in all her beauty. Oh god, they're double packaged. That's how you know she's ugly. All right, well here's one of the masks, just because I wanna show you, just to hype up the Michael Myers mask. So you can kind of see, you can kind of tell that things are about to get insane here. Things are about to get scary. I don't think y'all are ready for this. I don't think I'm ready for this. I don't know why I thought this thing had more of a neck than it does, but holy shit. Who made this? Who's the original maker? Paper Magic Group. You should take your company apart. I unfortunately have to put it on because that's part of this channel's aesthetic. Are you fucking kidding me? Why is one eyebrow lifted? Like one is clearly askew from the other. Alright, so rehauling this one's actually gonna be a whole bunch of fun. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna whip out the airbrush because I'm not putting my brushes on this thing. I'm not ruining them like that. The mouth is agape. It is all over the place. I'm gonna have to find a way to seal that shut, which I don't think should be too much of a problem. I don't even like it. I don't even want to fucking look at it. I don't even want it looking at me right now. Alright, so the first thing I'm gonna have to do though is get this thing into shape, no pun intended. And what I'm gonna do is put some heat on it and try and stretch it and mold it back into the correct shape that it needs to be. Because right now it's kind of, it's like been sitting probably in someone's garage adding goddamn demons to their house, and like this was like a literal portal to the fucking underworld just looking at this thing. So yeah, let's get started. Alright, so hopefully you can hear me pretty well. I know my 3D printer is running in the background. It's like a week later since I got this because I'm just putting this thing off. I don't even want to look at this goddamn thing. I have it right now on a mannequin head on my Lazy Susan that I got from literally Bed Bath & Beyond because whatever. I just noticed this thing has giant ear holes, which is hilarious. And the mouth is kind of just gaping open. And so what I want to do is, I don't know why it looks so distorted. I know what I can do is try and get this in a little bit more of a shape, is to hit it with a heat gun or a hairdryer and try and like, I don't know, bring it back to where it needs to be. But I don't know what I'm going to do about these lips because like they cut it, it's not just cut as a slit, they like cut a whole section out. It doesn't really go back together right, so I may just kind of have to leave that and then hopefully it fills out when it's worn. But I do have my airbrush set up right here, so my plan is what I'm going to do is give this entire thing a skin tone like color to match the Captain Kirk mask, so kind of like a beigey, almost kind of pink. And then we're going to go over it with the white, do some weathering details. I'm going to try and actually use the airbrush to add some contour, and then we're gonna try and figure out what to do with the hair. I refuse to spend real money on getting like nice mohair for this mask because I'm doing this for the sake of doing it. So I think I'm gonna try and find an alternative by getting some type of wig or whatever hair I have left over and putting it on top of this mask. So like I said, let's quickly mix up some paint and get this thing looking all beigey. Alright, so I think the paints I'm gonna use to create this beige effect, I have a classic caramel here and then just some peach. These are Apple Barrel, I believe this is Walmart brand. And what I'm gonna do is a 50-50 mix. Let me like wetting that a little bit. 50-50 mix of paint to water, which is a little different than normal because I'm using the airbrush. And to be honest with you, I only use the airbrush like once a year, so figuring out ratios and stuff is not my cup of tea. And I'm probably doing it completely wrong, but I don't really care at this point. Alright, so I got this kind of beigey pink color. I'm just going to add the slightest amount of liquid latex to it. So I found with the airbrush that it puts out such a fine... Oh, this liquid latex bottle is at its edge. There we go. I find that when using the airbrush, it puts out such a fine kind of particulation, whatever the hell you call it, of paint that it sticks no matter what. So I'm just gonna go with this. It's very, very thin, as you can see. It's got my airbrush here, that in. Hopefully this sprays out, right? Because I'm a moron. It does. And we're just gonna go over the whole mask. Now, because this is such a light amount of paint, it is gonna take a while to build up these layers. You can barely even tell it's getting painted on right now. Alright, so like 40 coats of paint later, it's pretty much where I wanted to get it. This paint, like I said, because it's mixed so thin, it takes a lot of layers to get this thing up to the color. It never even really fully coated those eyebrows. Like, I keep trying to paint this thing, and it's really difficult since it's not stuffed. So I think I'm going to have to quickly stuff this mask once this completely dries, and then we're going to go on to the white paint, which I haven't decided yet if I want to just use the airbrush or if I want to be like, you know, iconic and use white spray paint like they did in the film, because I've never done that, and it'd be a fun time to kind of try it out. So I'll let this dry, stuff it, and then figure it out. All right, so I stuffed the mask. I realized I didn't even have white spray paint, so I mixed up some of the white. Now, before I get a million comments, because I swear to God, every repaint video I get a million comments, like, what is your ratio? It's 50% water, 50% paint, and like I just kind of do a dash of liquid latex for an airbrush. If you're just painting this by hand, which is definitely a thing you can do, I do it with most of my masks, it's gonna be like I like to do 50-50 latex and paint and then just a dash of water, so kind of like flipping it around. So I'm gonna try and avoid whatever the hell, if this is considered a neck, because it really isn't a neck. And then what I'm gonna do afterwards is kind of remove paint from some areas and to add some definition and make it look like the original Halloween 1 mask. So let's get right into that. Alright, so I decided to get lazy because my airbrush was just taking way too long, and I mixed up a, like I said, 50% liquid latex to paint mixture, and I am just going to paint it. See how much quicker that is? I'm actually going to use a stipple sponge to stipple a lot of this in, and kind of just try and brush it wherever I can. Alright, so we have this atrocity painted completely white. I tried stuffing it a little bit more, but every time I stuff it, I literally stray further away from God. So what I'm going to do next is I'm just actually use some nail polish remover because I unfortunately don't have any naphtha, and I'm going to remove some paint from the areas where the paint was removed in the original film because the mask was just falling the hell apart. So I'm dipping a paintbrush in there, and I think what I'm going to start with is the eyebrows just to make sure this is actually going to work on this paint. I think it should be fine though. Just try and put some liquid latex or some acetone, kind of just try and paint it off. So that seems to be working pretty well. There we go. Same deal as before, I just mixed up I just took some black and water, and I didn't use any liquid latex here because I didn't really think I'd need it because it's just such a small amount. I'm gonna try, I have to be kind of careful here so I don't like overdo it, but like that. I just want to, no. What the fuck? Alright, so I might have overdone it a little bit, but this mask was overdone to begin with. So I really accentuated the cheeks, I tried to define the nose a little bit, and then obviously tried to add the neck that does not exist. I kind of just want to try this on my own face and see what it looks like. So it looks slightly better. Nowhere near like Michael Myers yet though. This is still pretty atrocious. It might not help because of the lighting either, so. I'm wondering if I get hair on here, if it'll look slightly better. But even then, this is starting to look a lot like that Rob Zombie white mask they sell because of all the contouring that I had to do, because there's literally no detail on this mask. Alright, let's see what I can do. Alright, so it's Brandon voiceover time because I filmed this literally 3 weeks later, and it was like it's literally midnight right now. I just got done making this stupid video. So I'm using spray glue because I'm a moron, and I actually know it works because I used it on my Pennywise video. If you haven't watched that, go back. And I'm actually using the same hair. This is literally a Dumbledore wig. It's like white hair. I could not find a brown wig at any store, especially one that wasn't crazy glossy. And this ended up being the worst thing I've ever done in my entire life. There's literally hair stuck to every part of my body, and I now have spray glue all over my lens because I filmed way too close. But what I did was kind of add it up like you normally would. The reason I use spray glue is because it dries so quick and it clings on. Oh my god, I can't even look at that. It's making my eyes hurt. He's like an old lady wearing a toupee. But trust me, this somehow actually worked out really, really well. I don't know how. I basically just built it up, and when I got to the hairline, I began to be like really, really careful, making sure it looked like clean. And there, it kind of looks like a Ben Tramer mask if it got blood on it. I mean, he did get hit by a car, so whatever. I then took a black and a brown spray paint, and I kind of just mixed those up and sprayed the entire hair. And for some reason, this really worked. This like really helped bring out the mask. I'm not going to say the mask looks good at all because it really doesn't, but it definitely helped make it look way better than it did before, because I think the hair really had a whole bunch of definition because there's already that raised kind of ugly molded hair on there, and it really helped out. So I kind of interchanged the colors just to add that kind of gradient that the original mask had. It almost reminds me of some of the set photos with Nick Castle, but it literally doesn't have a chin. Like, it just falls down. It's so weird. So you guys be the judge. I don't know if this, I'm sorry if the lens looks a little messy. It's because that stupid spray glue's over the lens. So you guys be the judge. Let me know if this looks any better. I probably won't be able to upload any videos before Halloween, so I hope you guys have a fantastic Halloween. Please be safe out there. And here's me being stupid in every single way possible, trying to make this mask look good. Yep, have a good one, guys.